Start with name and title, please.
Colonel James F. Grady II, Director of the Michigan State Police.
And what is the latest in this? I think we all know what we're here.
Yeah, of course, this morning, unfortunately, we had a motor carrier officer make a stop on the right shoulder of I-75 in Dix, traveling northbound. While inside the vehicle, that motor carrier in the vehicle was struck from behind by oncoming motorists, causing his vehicle to collide into the back of the semi-truck that he had stopped. We got EMS out there to the scene to provide medical assistance to both the at-fault driver and the motor carrier officer, in which they were conveyed here to Detroit Receiving. At this time, the motor carrier officer has family here. I've been informed that they continue to conduct further assessment as far as his condition, but he is coherent and talking, so that's good. Unfortunately, and deepest condolences to the family of the other driver. It's been confirmed that that driver is deceased. Right now, the investigation is still pending. We don't have all of the details of exactly what occurred out there, but I have staff, accident reconstructionists that will put that scene back together so that we can know exactly what occurred out there.
Obviously, I mean, it appears pretty apparent that it was a rear ending, right? I mean, we know that.
And again, we want to make sure, so I've got staff out there doing that investigation, but at this point, yes, that's the preliminary information that I've received at this point, is that it was a rear end collision.
We received word that there were 2 drivers who were hospitalized. Is that correct?
Well, I only know of the motor carrier officer and the driver that caused the crash that rear-ended the end of the motor vehicle out there.
Why did the police officer here pull over the semi?
I'm not sure of that. I don't have that information. I'm sure that there was some violation that occurred at the scene. Motor carrier officers are essential to roadway safety here in the state of Michigan. They do a number of things that keep us all safe. Sometimes it's not necessarily just a traffic stop. Sometimes we pull over just to assist someone. But at this time, I don't have all of those details. Again, it's pending further investigation, and I just know that the motor carrier officer was sitting safely in their car, seat belted, as they were supposed to, the way that it is in our policy. And unfortunately, he was struck by an oncoming vehicle.
What patrol car was he in? Does he have an SUV or is it?
So he has an SUV. Yeah, it's very common for our motor carrier officers in this state to operate and go out and work every day with a full-size SUV, normally a Tahoe.
And was the posted speed limit there 70 miles an hour?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Wasn't a construction zone, so they could have been going that fast.
I haven't been to the scene. There's construction everywhere here right now. But what I can tell you is what I know, and that is that he was operating on the side, on the shoulder of the road, as trained, and again was unfortunately struck. So when we find out more information, that's information that we might be able to share a little bit later on. But at this time, that's the information that I have to share with you.
Was he in the car, in his patrol car?
In the patrol vehicle. That's correct.
So he was not physically pinned himself between?
Well, actually, yes. So based on the damage from the vehicle, he had to be extricated. He was pinned inside the car, but that was done safely, and he was conveyed here to the hospital. And we're very thankful from the Detroit Receiving Hospital staff for providing the assistance to our motor carrier officer. We can't thank them enough for that. But right now, it sounds like things are swinging in the right direction for this officer and his family.
What was the approximate time this happened?
Roughly 8:30 this morning.
And double check, you did say that officer, he was seatbelted in his car per
That's
protocol, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And can you tell us anything about the officer?
A little bit under 2 years in the agency. And just like the rest of our motor carrier officers and troopers out there, as well as our other law enforcement partners, this officer is out there doing everything that he can to keep Michigan safe. And that's why he was working today. Again, this can be very dangerous out on these freeways and roadways. It's very important that our motorists across the state please pull over and get over a lane when you see and a law enforcement or a first responder, a tow truck driver, anybody out there, our construction workers, get over a lane, slow down. I cannot preach that enough. I can't advocate and support it enough. You must do that. That type of driving behavior, when you take the precautionary methods to do that, it can help reduce situations like this. We've had a trooper killed earlier in the year. We've had other troopers that have been hit. The freeways are dangerous, and so I, as much as I can, I am asking for all our motorists out there to take that into consideration every time they get behind the wheel.
Just give us some
anything to be said in this situation as well about, we've seen the dangers of distracted driving recently, especially when you're going at that speed. Can you talk to that at all?
Absolutely. I mean, we have, with the Office of Highway Safety, we've pushed out educational information about that here from the state police. I can't explain how important it is to stay off your cell phones, to keep both your hands on the steering wheel. Distracted driving does cause a lot of problems. We see where it causes fatal collisions, every day. And these are things that people have to be mindful of every time they get behind the wheel, that potentially, it could cause either serious injury or death. And you have to think about that. That means everybody. So I can't express my concern enough about that. Every time I have to go to a hospital for a departmental member for these situations, it's scary. It's scary for the family, and it should be concerning for everybody.
So
I'm sorry if I... Go ahead.
Points in fact, just how old is the MCO, and do you have any details on the driver who was killed and the truck driver?
I don't have a whole lot on either one of those two. The motor carrier officer, again, I'll just share with you that he has a little bit under 2 years in the agency.
I'm sorry if I missed this. Did you say what mile marker, like what exit where the crash
Diggs.
happened? Okay.
Diggs,
Okay.
I-75 northbound in Diggs.
Thank you.
And been doing this a while. I don't ever remember a motor carrier officer being struck.
hit.
I mean, it's pretty unusual.
It does happen. You got to remember, Michigan is a big state. Sometimes in another part of the state, you may not hear about this. The injury could be minor, but I've seen it, multiple times over the course of my 26-year career.
I got to ask, how come you are here today giving this statement? I mean, normally we get our statements from PIO.
And as you can see, we have First Lieutenant Shaw here with me. But as the leader of this agency, you will see me do this from time to time. I'm not the only law enforcement leader in a position like this to provide information when something happens to a departmental member. I feel like I have a role and responsibility to do this. Of course, again, Michigan is big, so that's why we have PIOs. I can't be everywhere, and they do a wonderful job. First Lieutenant Shaw does a wonderful job. But today, I am a Wayne County resident, and this is close, and I have a role and responsibility as a leader of the Michigan State Police to be here for the members here when they're hurt, injured, or something else happened to them. And so this is not uncommon for me, even if they're in another part of the state and it's minor, for me to get on the phone and shoot them a call to make sure that they're okay.
Understood.
When can we expect another update from you, or will it be a press release that comes out about investigation at all?
I'm going to leave that to...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So you don't want to have to pester you guys with emails or anything like
We'll
that?
update along Twitter as we normally
Yes.
do, or X.
Understood. Yep.
Yeah, this would be
You
the
think
next
that update will include an investigation of the cause of the crash? Any more you can release on
Well,
that?
you have to understand that with investigations like this, they take a little bit of time, right? We want to be thorough. We want to be expeditious and get it done and completed, but we want to be detailed and thorough in our investigations. And that's everything we do here at the MSP.
You mentioned family. Has he got young kids, old?
Well, I can just tell you that again, it's his wife. It's the parents, some other family members are here at the hospital and standing by his bedside. That's important to us, but including to supplement that so is his MSP family as well. And again, that's another reason why I'm here today.
Last question from me is, what does this do to you guys, the rest of the force? I mean, you had a huge presence here, but I mean, it's got to hang in your head when you go back on the street.
Well, absolutely. But I will tell you, the state police, as you talk about mental wellness, physical wellness, financial wellness, we have a wellness program here in the state police. We actually have our own Office of Behavioral Science. So members have access to that. That is a resource to our members. It doesn't matter what rank you are. We see a lot. We deal with a lot in this profession. And so we've always offered that to our members. That's been there throughout the whole 26 years of my career. People know that that's a resource, and again, we have great staff that can help them get through and work their way through this type of adversity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
By the way,